What's up, y'all? Let's watch the Age of the Stars ending from Batavidia.
The first war for Leonia was a clash of blue against gold, reason against faith, the stars against the Erd Tree.
I love these animated
Champions
intros
fought
that Body
on
has
either
for these.
side, but
Really
none
good.
were as great as Ranala and Radigan,
Yeah.
who somehow put their differences aside.
They did put differences
From this
aside. She was tricked. Ranala put her differences aside.
3 children were born, each with Radigan's flaming red hair: Rykard, Radahn, and Ranni. Of the 3, the Princess Ranni was most favored by the mother. Caria was a
yes.
matriarchal society.
Learned all of the
after
magic.
And power would inevitably pass to her.
Do a little volume here.
So, with Ranala leading her by the hand, she found it, her very own moon. But her moon would be eclipsed by the 2 fingers who spoke for the greater will. They schemed to have the young Empyrean follow their path, a puppet on their strings.
Okay, well that makes sense. So I guess my question up front here is going to be, did everything that happened with the black knives and all the stuff that we do, is that Ranni going rogue, or is that the will of the 2 fingers? I guess as I say that out loud, it's almost certainly not the will of the 2 fingers, but let's see.
And so they granted her a shadow, a half-wolf named Blythe, given to protect
boy.
Ranni, all in the name of the greater will.
I love the wolves that everybody gets. The,
But it was a mistake.
Empyrean protectors.
And Ranni
Very cool.
and Blythe grew extremely close.
Oh yeah, they're friends.
So, Ranni grew older, with loyal allies by her side.
And E.G.?
Thanks to the greater will, she was never alone.
It's all about the company you keep, you know. You got good friends, you can do great
Unlike her
things.
mother, who would be abandoned by Radigan. After this,
Peace
Ranala
out.
was no champion. She was destroyed by grief and left with nothing but Radigan's golden egg. Meanwhile, Radigan reforged his Moonlight Greatsword into a Greatsword of Order. Showing
Moonlight
his true
Greatsword.
colors as he embraced his other half. The sword was once a gift of betrothal. Not anymore.
It looks cool.
Suddenly bereft of her parents, Ranni ventured deep into the woods, and there she found a new mentor, a snowy crone, well versed in witchcraft.
I don't know anything about this woman. I know that it is the shape that the puppet takes, or the shape that she sort of takes after she her flesh is removed and her spirit is all that's left. But that's all I know.
Who taught the young Ranni in the absence of her mother. In contrast to Ranni, Radahn grew in admiration.
Did she teach her any magic different from that what Ranala would have taught her? Because I mean, she's kind of like, you know, the leader of the school of magic, right? So you would think that her mother would be able to teach her anything she needed to know. So what did this, you know, random woman out in the woods, what did she offer beyond Ranala?
Of the father. And in an unparalleled act of power, he mastered gravity magic and turned against the stars.
I still feel like there's some debate in my mind as to why he did that, right? I know we went over that in some pretty great detail in previous videos, but it still feels fuzzy. Like, what's the exact reason? Because there's like multiple hypotheses on why that would happen.
On the other hand, writhed and rankled against order, as did Ranni, who would not acquiesce. And yet, her body belonged to the Golden Order, for she was a demigod, perhaps even more than she herself knew.
She is now a
So
tree.
she devised a plot, stealing death and forging it into black blades that could cast away her Empyrean flesh. And so, as order slowly fell apart, she set aside her great rune and left with Blythe and Iji, and was never seen again.
I didn't understand why Ranni actually did what she did. She killed her flesh to be separated from the Golden Order. Pretty obvious. Now that I know, it seems like I should have known that already.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
yes. Tarnished, are we? Come to the lands between for the Elden Ring? Hmm? Of course you have. No shame in it. Unfortunately for you, however, you are maidenless.
Okay, so what do we got here? They're basically just saying that, hey, look, after all that happened, a random tarnished soldier,
I bequeath to you this
tarnished
ring.
guy
It will summon
or
a
gal
spectral
showed up.
steed named Torrent.
Yeah. This is just a, hey, look, after all that happened, this guy shows up. It kind of tells the whole story of us in Elden Ring. And then we'll clearly come together after this montage and see how we were involved in Ranni's journey. It was a cool montage.
Always a pleasure.
Santa
To purchase
Claus?
anything? The howl of a wolf in the mistwood. I suppose he must still be skulking about. I know. Why not meet him for yourself? Next time you hear the wolf's howl, make this signal right under the source. Don't fret. There is nothing to fear. I just have an inkling the two of you might hit it off.
It's early in the game.
If there's anything that you learn from these games, it's basically you need, on a single playthrough, you have to play it 5 times. You go through and you get to a point, just go back to the beginning and start over, because that's how you have to progress the storylines.
You're desperate for your first quest. That howl has not stopped ever since you set foot here, and it comes from a rare high point in the Mistwood.
Which
One
is
that
hard to
peaks
see. I have a problem looking up when I play these games, man. It took me a long time to find that dude.
over its treetops. Here, you can find the half-wolf named Blythe. It's as if he's looking for something, as if he's in need of information. So you can get his attention with the same signal that he and Kale must have set up to do trade.
Carly sent you, did he?
Mm-hmm.
Ever the bloody busybody. Maybe to him you don't seem so strange. The name's Blythe. I'm looking for a man who goes by Darrowell. He fled somewhere nearby.
I love his armor set.
Come tell me if you find him before I do. I can offer you ample reward. Darrowell is nothing but a traitor, and in need of a fitting end to his tale.
I remember him being
is
kind of a hard
bloodhound
fight.
knight, a sect of fighters who were trained as hunters and trackers. These beastly knights never speak, but they choose their own master and are supposed to be loyal to them.
What does he remind me of? It's Dark Souls 3? There is some like frozen knights or something like that are kind of tough to beat.
Life.
They crawl
Even
around like
Ranala
that.
had such an oath-sworn beast in her employ. And she also had Blythe, who is yet another half-wolven warrior who is defined by his loyalty. Perhaps it's for this reason that Blythe takes Darrowill's treachery so personally.
Howdy.
Darrowell. Rotting in a cell is no true justice. No. This is where it ends for you.
Well, you know about that tag team, though. Look at the cinematics this Vati has on these videos now. Man, I'm telling you, they get better and better.
Right. There you are. Had to work for it, but it's done.
Right.
Don't say I'm not a man of my word. Here's your prize. Oh, yes.
You know how it's like,
should say.
it's a video game. He's like, here's your prize. And he puts his hand out and there's quite obviously nothing in his hand. What if that was just it? He's like, here's your prize. Ha ha, bitch. And then just runs away and that was the whole quest. That'd be fun.
If you venture north to Rea Lucaria and come across a venerable blacksmith who's a little on the large side, tell him I sent you.
A little on the
He'll be
large
sure
side.
to treat you right. I owe you one, I reckon. That's enough chit-chat for now. It's time we parted ways.
Of course, we don't know the circumstances of Darrowill's traitorous acts, but we do know that Blythe is obsessed with loyalty, and here, perhaps, he is projecting
what did Darrowill
his
do?
expectations of loyalty upon another.
Ah, then you
Okay.
met Blythe, did you? Wonderful. I'm glad I pointed you in his direction. He's boorish, blunt, and couldn't find his nose with both hands. But he's a good egg. I think the two of you are sure to find the best in one another.
He's just his buddy, his trading partner. And he's like, yeah, you know, he's my pal.
After this,
Should
word
check
of your
him out.
exploits begins to spread.
My
and
bro.
The Church of Ella is engulfed
Ella?
by a strange
Ella?
sleep mist.
A. Oh, right, yeah.
This way, Tarnished. May I have a word?
Yes, puppet lady.
A pleasure to meet thee, Tarnished. I am the witch Renna. I'd heard tell of a Tarnished hurtling about
Why does she call herself Renna here? I never understood that.
to top a spectral steed. And upon looking into the matter, the talk, I surmise, is of thee. Thou art possessed of the power, no? To call forth a spectral steed named Torrent.
Yeah, I got that.
As I had hoped, I was entrusted this for thee by Torrent's former master. 'Tis a bell for calling forth spirits. Summon them with it. From ash and return to the Erdtree.
Kind of
The
forgot.
spirits will obey thy
Kind of forgot
command
how
but
difficult
briefly,
it is to actually
as they
obtain the
recall
spirit bell.
battles past. Now it is thine. To do with as thou wishest. Forgive mine intrusion, Tarnished. I doubt we shall again meet.
Oh, you were
But
wrong
all
as
the
shit.
same, learn well the lands between. How long will it be, I wonder, before the Tarnished tire of obeisance to the two fingers?
The two fingers. So, long ago, great champions would gather at the round table and listen to the fingers, for they are envoys to the greater will, and the
They don't
greater
do
will
shit.
is widely regarded as the ultimate power in the universe. So, the two fingers speak with its language of light, but they are far from benevolent. And it was the two fingers that forsook the Tarnished long ago when their grace was lost, only to welcome them back upon the shattering of the Elden Ring.
You know what movie I just watched that this reminded me of right here? Nausicaa and the, what is it, the Valley of the something. It's a Studio Ghibli movie. It's like I'm watching this movie and I just keep seeing visuals that are like, that's in Dark Souls, that's in Elden Ring, that's in Dark Souls 3. And it's just like tons of stuff. And so these trees that kind of go up forever here. There's also an area in Dark Souls 1 that's very similar to this. And then there's in Nausicaa, Valley of the Wind, I believe it is. There's like visuals of the same trees. And that's just one of like 10 examples that I saw. It was kind of fascinating. I don't know if it's like a direct, if they were directly taken from it, but it feels certainly inspired by the movie.
It's widely re- and it was the two fingers that forsook the Tarnished long ago when their grace was lost, only to welcome them back upon the shattering of the Elden Ring. Now they are wizened, trembling, and bent with age, yet still they shepherd members of the Round Table hold, sharing incantations of light and warmth but also shadows and silence. They have high hopes
Whack.
for the Tarnished, that even should they be wounded, even should they fall, that they will continue to fight for their duty. But many suspect that the fingers are corrupted, broken, their guidance skewed.
Do you think the fingers don't even actually talk with the greater will at all? Like maybe they're just making up their own shit?
For now,
They went rogue?
Grace leads you to Leonia, known for its vast forests and ever-present fog. In its north stands the Academy of Raya Lucaria. In the east, there is a high road that runs north to south, and the western coast has always been closely associated with Carian royalty, some of whom remain to this day. This is Iji, the Carian blacksmith that Blythe sent you to find.
Blythe actually did that, did he?
He
Quite
did.
a rare occurrence for such a guarded soul as he. Perhaps he sensed something unusual about you. At any rate, if you're friendly with Blythe, I will give you whatever guidance I can and pray for your success.
Long ago, trolls like Iji swore an oath to Queen Ranala of Caria, and were eventually called into service to fight in her war against the Golden Order.
I really love how the
Eventually,
trolls
Caria
sort of,
and Raya
they're like one of
Lucaria.
the only races, I guess, besides, well, humans. But how they chose kind of what sides they were going to fight on, or even what little factions within sides that they were going to fight with. I think that's really cool.
Would join with the Golden Order, only for Radagon to abandon Ranala and then leave Leonia in this state of civil strife. But again, that was long ago.
Brave Tarnished.
What was going on right here? Is this just like ghosts of a previous battle? It kind of seemed like it, but what was going on there?
Again, that was long ago.
Brave Tarnished. A word of warning, if you please. This territory once belonged to the Carian royal family. Their manor lies not far beyond this point. When the Raya Lucaria Academy turned on the Carians, the Knights of the Cuckoo descended on this tract. After leveling it, they carried on to the manor. The Carians were taken off guard, but their strength had not waned, and they repelled the Knights' onslaught by conjuring an enchanted snare that remains potent to this day. That is why I say, Tarnished, don't go near the manor.
Whatever.
Unless you wish to lie with the corpses of the heedless Knights of the Cuckoo.
I just sprinted my ass up there. A-okay. Just gotta dodge left, right, you know? There you go. Nah, you could do it. What the hell am I looking at here? Is there a first-person view? Could you imagine Elden Ring VR? I would buy that.
Amidst Caria's enemies and treasure, the Knights of the Cuckoo live on, as puppets who are forced now to fight for the Carians that they once tried so hard to destroy. Perhaps you'd be better off exploring.
I like the little
Raya.
story that told a story of your travels through Caria, dying over and over again. They didn't have to say anything, just a little montage of death.
Caria, the academy that closed its doors to the world. After the shattering, the academy wisely declared that it wouldn't interfere and locked its gates. So it is that even now it's filled with scholars, or at least it was. These sorcerers dedicated themselves to glintstone research, and they venerated many masters. And their headmaster was Ranala, who was also the Queen of Caria. But Ranala disgraced herself by falling for Radagon, who left her witless and inane. So,
Someone tell me about what is going on here. You know, you fight the wolf of Radagon or whatever, or it kind of looks like a fox,
who
doesn't it?
left her
Anyway, you fight it. Is this just like a spirit or something like that? Because it's not actually Radagon. So what was this?
witless and inane. So Now there is this limited Carian presence in Raya Lucaria, except for a few loyalists who defend the Grand Library. For it is here that Rennala remains, locked away with the great rune of the Unborn.
Who's
And her
that?
creepy friends.
Who could it be?
Oh, I never thought about this before. Are these all Albinurics? Because they can't walk?
Friend.
They would be, right?
Hush, little Calva. I'll soon birth thee anew, a sweeting, fresh and pure.
Children born anew by Rennala are all frail and short-lived, and Radagon's golden protection can only last so long. Rennala's true defense lies in the golden egg, which is enchanted with a snare. It's a spell that conjures a version of Rennala at the height of her power, something designed by the daughter to protect the mother.
Upon my name as Ranni the Witch, Mother's rich slumber shall not be disturbed by thee. Foul trespasser, send word far and wide of the last queen of Caria, Rennala of the full moon.
Whoa, dude. Okay, so I just put that together. So when you get like transported into this moon realm, that was like a curse or something that was set by Ranni.
And the majesty of the night she conjureth.
Yes, I know.
In this battle, Rennala is defended by her oathbound beasts, giants, and dragons that had partnered with her.
Oathbound?
over
They're just
her
spirits,
long
right?
age of wandering the lands between. For she was there at the beginning of it all.
Are the spirits that we collect bound to us by some oath? Like, do they fight for us because they
little
choose to? I
Ranni.
kind of assumed we like
My dear
are forcing them.
daughter, weave thy night into being.
This
Weave
was
thy
merely
night into
a fight
being.
against a conjured spirit, and yet those final words seem real.
So she wasn't even there. It was just a spirit. Interesting.
Back at Caria Manor, you progress towards the Three Sisters, towers that are defended by Adula, who is Ranni's oath-sworn dragon. Adula was once a devourer of sorcerers, until she was bested by Ranni, and subsequently
right in the face.
she swore a knightly oath to her dark moon. She flees before we can defeat her, but we'll see her again.
What, you scared, dragon?
For now,
Dragon
we're
got
granted
scared.
access to Ranni's rise.
Oh, again we cross paths.
I do like her witch
I
hat.
believe I said my name was Renna when last we met. It pleaseth me to see Torrent hale and hearty, but tarnished. What business hast thou
There
here?
she is talking about Renna.
I have
Was Renna the name of the old lady that she's sort of there to look like, and she was just trying to give like fake names? Like she's just really into her own privacy.
Memory of inking thee an invitation. No reason in particular thou claimest. Intriguing. Then mayhaps fate hath steered thee to this reunion. Wilt thou enter into my service? I am the witch Ranni. I stole death long ago. and search now for the dark path, that I might one day upend the whole of it, and rid the world of all that came before. Well, has that roused thy interest?
Yes, ma'am, I am roused.
I see. A choice well made. Thou art a rare sword. Not many would have accepted the offer, but I require as much of those under my command. I anticipate good work from thee.
And you shall
Then as we
receive.
proceed with haste. There is in my service a half-wolven warrior by the name of Blythe. I would have thee join him in searching for the hidden treasure of Nokron, the Eternal City. I have called for Blythe to greet thee below.
She just says Nokron. I'm like, oh god. Like my visual of the game is like limited to like what we're talking about. And she says Nokron. I'm like, yeah, it's this whole entire like game. Just Nokron's like a full game. It's crazy the size of this game.
Take from him the particulars.
Long time, friend. Blythe. If you've forgotten. Glad to have you in the service of Mistress Ranni. Well, getting right to business. I'm still in Limgrave. The eternal city of Nokron lies somewhere at the bottom of this land. I'm planning to go below through the well in the Mistwood. See if I can't find the road to Nokron from there. Don't keep me waiting, eh?
Well, I don't. Thankfully, Blythe is pretty easy to find once you get down here. You just kind of like fight through that little beginning path, and he's just kind of chilling with a
And so
kind of
you
backlit,
go
easy to
down.
find.
Deep below the earth.
But man,
to an
you know,
ancient
if you can mess up, like most storylines in this game, like you know, if you already went here, you might think never to come back until you happen to hear what he says.
civilization that predates any others that are found on the surface. Here, ancestral followers and claymen persist well outside the purview of the Erd Tree. But built amidst these ancient ruins is a newer, still ancient city, Nokron, an eternal city where people of the night were banished to long ago for their treason. But their legacy lives on in E.G., Blythe, Ranni, and now you.
Me, baby.
Ah. Good to see you. Apologies, mate. But I don't have much to report. I can see bloody Nokron right above me. But I'm absolutely stumped. I've tried all the gateways, to no avail. Perhaps it's time to ask Celovus. I recall that spiteful little rat acting like he knew something. Let's give him a
Celovus is gross.
squeeze. Show him just how sharp my teeth are. I
Celovus
jest.
be getting nasty with the
I
puppets,
wouldn't go
man.
that
We all
far.
know.
Besides, I should check on some things here. Leave this place to me. You just do what you feel is right. If either of us learns anything, we tell the other. Right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, he's like really trusting you, right? He's like, hey, you tell me, I'll tell you,
And
man.
so
We got it. We're
you
homies.
go to confront Celovus.
Blythe is
Celovus
like,
was once a preceptor, a teacher of magic who served
He's
the
your homie,
Carian
you know?
royals. When Radagon married Renala, these preceptors were ordered to don masks of confidence, mouths stitched shut with gold thread,
yeah.
to make it clear that all their matters were to be kept strictly private, because Radagon was hiding a secret. And that secret was that, of course, Radagon was also Marika.
So did Celovus know
also
that?
has many secrets of his own.
No, hold on now. Does that, I mean, I get like the, you know, secrecy is a big deal, but then he just said like, because as we know, Radagon is Marika, but like, did he know that?
You must be Ranni's new hireling. Yes,
I wouldn't trust anybody
Yes,
with
I've
that.
heard all about you. I don't know what it is the mistress sees in a provincial tarnished like you. But since we have the misfortune of serving the same lady, I am Celovus, preceptor in the sorcerous arts.
As loathsome
His voice
as
is just
Celovus
creepy.
is, it seems he knows something about Nokron.
Well, well, you're asking me about that, are you? The task was left to you and the mongrel, was it not? Not
What a
only
jerk.
are you incompetent, but shameless to boot.
You just got to talk shit before he
there's
helps
no
you.
helping it.
I'm
Now's as
amazing.
good a time as any. I'll let you in on it. There's a glintstone sorcerer by the name of Selin in Limgrave. She owes me for the help I gave her when she was expelled from the academy. I asked her to look into the matter some time ago. I'll write you a letter of introduction. Go ask her.
So he doesn't know
Go
how to
ask
get to
her.
Nokron, but he does know someone who might. Selin was expelled from Raya Lucaria for her research into the primeval current, and among other things, these dark arts taught Selin how to slice open her heart and imbue a primal glintstone with her soul.
It's messed up, man.
Selin is still in hiding, but you eventually track her down. Or what's left of her, anyway.
Yeah, this was kind of confusing too. I didn't really understand if it was like really her or
Tarnished, are you?
like what she's doing with her body and her soul, and you're putting it in a different body, and I didn't really know who was who. I mean, I guess I kind of understood. I felt like I was sort of restoring her to her body, and I helped her escape her torture or imprisonment. But I don't know, it was kind of in a weird way.
I am Jaren. Foolish.
And your
old
boy
warrior
Jaren was
and
down here.
witness. You didn't know Selin, did you?
So let me put that together, because Jaren worked for Radahn, right? So if he's down here and he's trying to kill Selin, that must be something maybe against Ranni, his sister?
Well, whatever the case, she's dead now. It is strange, though. The woman, she was like a husk. Her soul already fled. I suspect Selin lives on elsewhere. I'm sure she'll turn up eventually, in another body.
The knight, Jaren, once served the Carrion Royals as a war commander for their general Radahn. Naturally then, he was also familiar with the Carrion Royal blacksmith, Iji.
Well, I haven't heard that name in an age. Then you must serve Princess Ranni. The next time you speak to Iji, tell him this. The Festival of Radahn will surely set Ranni's fate back into motion. By the by, is that old fool still hammering out weapons? His enormous frame cramped in that little place? Bit of a haughty sort.
Okay, yeah. So he's there trying to plan the festival to set the stars back in motion, which would stop Ranni. Stop Ranni's plan? Or start Ranni's plan? Don't know
Strange
yet.
fella when I knew him. And funny thing, his swords were all blunt as stone, but not one of them decayed when faced with the scarlet rot.
Jaren shares a long history with his general, Radahn. The man preferred a nomadic existence, and yet, before long, he became sworn to Radahn, bound by an oath of honorable death. So Jaren was there when Radahn conquered the stars, and he remained by his side, even after the scarlet rot brought the general to his knees, for he had an oath to keep, a promise to bring Radahn an honorable death, even if it meant
You gotta
releasing
double jump
the
even
Night
if you don't
Sky
need it.
from his grasp.
We're all gonna pretend like it helps you
Now
get a
that's
little
name
further,
I
even
haven't
though it
heard for
doesn't.
a while.
I mean, it helps you get further.
No.
We all pretend like you double jump on a really long jump because you might not die, but we know the truth. You just
Wait,
die anyway. Does
How
not
did
help.
I not see it before? I ought to retire as war counselor for such a gross oversight. Let me explain. The fate of the Karian royal family is guided by the stars, as is the fate of Lady Ranni, first heir in the Karian royal line. But General Radahn is the conqueror of the stars, who stood up to the swirling constellations, halting their movement in a smashing victory. And so, if General Radahn were defeated, the stars would once again resume their movement, as would Lady Ranni's destiny.
Okay.
So although
So Ranni
he
wants
has
it to
lost
move.
his mind to rot, Radahn still somehow keeps the stars and Ranni's fate in stasis.
Okay, now it all makes sense to me. So now the question is, why are they having the festival? Because the stars are going to go, and he clearly, Radahn clearly wants him to stay. So it's just because he lost his mind, and there's just no holding the stars up anymore. Basically, they're just trying to hurry it along.
This is why you need him dead.
But it's a long ass video.
So Ranni's fate is kept in stasis by Starscourge Radahn. I'll be on my way to this festival of Radahn then. You're coming too, right? To Radahn's festivities. I'll meet you at Redmane Castle in Caelid. The way ahead is pleasingly simple. We fight, sword and fang.
Remember when you found out that Redmane actually had enemies in it when the festival wasn't happening?
Ah, there you are. Took your sweet time. The players are all made up and waiting for the curtain. Let's give them a show to remember, eh? Just don't you go dying on me. For Ranni's sake, too.
Don't you go dying on me.
Champions! Welcome! The stars have aligned! The festival is nigh! General Radahn, mightiest demigod of the Shattering, awaits you! Champions! Prepare
Look at all of them.
battle!
Looking good.
Defeat
Whole
the
crew.
general, claim glory, and grab that great rune! A celebration of war! The Radahn Festival!
Oh, I like this in the last video. He said that the arrows that he fires and the spears and stuff, the arrows that he fires are the spears in his back from the Rot Knights. It's cool as shit. Bonk. Radahn is cool. It's a cool fight, man. You could really gimmick it up, though. Huh? Run around on your horse and just summon dudes all the time. Actually, because I think I got here a little too early. I kind of thought you had to do that. I thought, by nature of all of the summons that were everywhere and they kept coming back, I just thought that you couldn't beat Radahn. So I just kept running around summoning. Eventually, if you run around your horse and you're summoning these dudes all over the place, eventually the summon signs stop coming around. And you can only summon like one person. Only one person can be alive or something like that.
To you and your razor-sharp wits.
They do make you finish them out.
Except, I am Iron Fist Alex.
It didn't happen like that in game, right? He wasn't sitting there talking shit while he was up in the air. I think they just did that for cinematic effect. It was really cool. I do like these. I mean, I'm obviously learning nothing right now, which is kind of my goal to watch these videos, but they're very cool, very cinematic, and he does a good job of sort of storytelling a bit with the fight scenes. Look at him. How are you gonna finish him off with the moon? That's messed up.
We can't really be certain why Radahn was holding back the stars. Was it to defend his home? Or was it on behalf of the Golden Order?
That's what I was saying. You can't know. I was saying that earlier.
Whatever the case,
like what was the point?
Ranni's fate is immediately freed from stasis, and a falling star tears through the earth in Limgrave, opening a direct path for her and you to Nokron.
I would say I would like to know maybe in the DLC But I think we all know at this point it's going to be largely Mikola based.
Waiting for you. Oh, what a sick way to fight, eh? The glory of the
And
clash is
Godwin.
shared by Radahn and you. And did you see that afterwards? A falling star right before our eyes. I can't fathom how Radahn was holding back something of that scale. He was a living legend if ever I saw one. And the path has now been cleared. To Nokron, where Ranni's fate will be decided. Let's meet where the falling star bit the earth. We'll take up our souls once more for Mistress Ranni.
For Mistress Ranni!
You finally come.
With his mirror helmet.
Blythe told me everything. You've defeated General Radahn.
What was the mirror helmet? Like reflects magic? It like stops people from being able to read your thoughts or control your mind or something?
Unlocking the stars. There is no parallel to your achievement. Nor to Lady Ranni's acute judgment of character. Thanks to you, Lady Ranni's fate once again stirs. Oh, Blythe wanted me to tell you not to bother waiting for him and head straight to Nokron. Blythe has been given an important task. Apparently, a matter of great urgency.
No. Doesn't
You need
Blythe
not
end up
await
getting
Blythe.
stuck in an Everjail here?
Descend underground alone, with a fallen star-struck Limgrave, and make it yours. The precious treasure.
Yeah,
of
so
Nokron,
what happened there?
so
He's
that
like,
Lady Ranni
Blythe's been given this important mission, great urgency, go by yourself, right? And then we end up finding Blythe in an Everjail later. Who ordered him to do it, and was that part of the plan? Does Ranni betray Blythe?
may tread the dark path of the Empyrean.
And so, you scramble through the debris left by a falling star and finally make your way towards Nokron. This is one of 3 eternal cities, to where a race called the Nox were banished long ago, for somehow they had invoked the ire of the Greater Will, and the Nox were forbidden from returning to its surface. We don't know exactly what they did to deserve this.
I asked this in a previous video, but no one ever said anything. But like, what are we looking at right here? Is this ashes of people dying? Why are they all grouped together? Or is this stone? Is this like a statue? Also, this exact same thing is in Bloodborne in a couple of areas. It looks really scary, but I don't even know what I'm looking at.
Eternal entombment, but it probably had to do with a weapon, the treasure of Nokron, a finger-slayer blade, born of a corpse and drenched in blood and said to be capable of harming the Greater Will and its vassals. So it was that the Nox became nothing more than another civilization that had lost its fate, sharing their ruins with Silvertears, listless treasure hunters, and the songs of the ancestral followers. This is Nokron.
Awesome, huh? Just so badass looking. Where do they get food from? How are their plants growing? There's no sunlight, no photosynthesis. Can you live off of like, I don't even know what lives down in caves with no light. Maybe there's enough light coming off
Now
the
that Radahn's
fake
death
stars.
has freed the fate in the night sky, we are able to discover Nokron's treasure. This is what Blythe was sent to find, yet we are the ones to claim it, so that Ranni can finally usher in the stars and bring about her age of night.
Ah, it was thee, not Blythe it seemeth. Even in my slumber I sensed it. It is in thy possession, is it not? The hidden treasure of Nokron.
there's a trick here. Because she's like, oh, Blythe, he didn't even do it. You did it. I should have, I sensed this. But also we know he was sent away. Like, what's the real move here?
Finally, all the pieces are in place. Soon must I begin my journey.
I feel like she's doing Blythe dirty right now.
On the dark path only I may tread. But before I leave, I must entrust thee with this. Take it. My thanks for thy sterling efforts. My discarded flesh lieth beyond the seal unlocked by it. A strange gift, perhaps, but a rare sort such as thee would welcome it, I'm sure.
I want to talk about Ranni's dark path. She had to do some pretty terrible things to get here. For example, she stole Destined Death and sacrificed her own corporeal flesh.
She's kind of wild,
of
yeah.
the hold that the fingers had over her, and to her this was necessary.
Although I like that though, I'm very anti Golden Order and fingers and stuff like that. I kind of like the rebelliousness of Ranni.
To rid the world of all that came before and upend the whole of it.
It seems a little bit overcomplicated.
But her sacrifice wasn't all.
There's some German engineering there.
For Destin's death demanded a body and a soul. So another demigod was very carefully selected, and she chose Godwyn the Golden. By killing him, Ranni could at once shed her body and strike a terrible blow to the Golden Order as well, ridding them of Godwyn the Golden.
That was not nice.
Probably the very best of them.
I didn't even think about it like that. She's just like, well, if I'm gonna separate myself from the Golden Order, I gotta kill somebody else at the same time. She just picked the dude.
We all know what happens to Godwyn, so you have to ask, does Ranni's end
And he was good.
justify the
He was
means?
like a nice guy.
I am certain
messed up.
now. Fate steered us to our first encounter. I must thank Torrent too for his part.
Oh, there you are. Good of you to drop by. Have you heard?
Yep.
Lady Ranni has departed on her journey. Along the dark path of Empyrean, from Renna's Rise, as she calls it. It would not have been possible without you. As Lady Ranni's war counselor, and moreover, her childhood warden, I express my deepest gratitude. You and only you were Lady Ranni's true champion. My purpose is nearing its end.
He's really talking me up.
I've served Lady Ranni for as long as I can remember. It has been a long and wondrous journey. Now Lady Ranni is in your hands. I pray that you serve her well, unto the very end.
All right, let's go to
we
Renna's
decide
Rise.
to take the portal at Renna's Rise. This tower is likely named after the snowy crone
Yeah.
who taught Ranni her sorcery.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Ranni
thinking. When
modeled
she
her-
called herself Renna before, it was, I think he was about to say it, she models herself after that snowy witch or whatever, and it seems pretty obvious her name must be Renna.
Doll after that mentor, and Ranni and the doll that she inhabits are busy somewhere on the other side of this portal.
Where are
Which
we?
leads to the Ainsel River, which flows underneath Liurnia, underneath the
They
moonlit plateau.
they do such a good job
Here-
because like you already know about the river, you see it on the map, but you can't get up there. There's multiple spots like that in the game where you're just looking and you can't quite get there, or like where that tower we just went to, where Ranni gives you that thing to put down, it flips the tower over. You probably checked it out. You're like, I don't know how to get in this place, and off you go. But then you get it, and you're like, I remember that. And how many times when you play, you're like, oh man, I remember that. Oh, I remember that.
Here you find a miniature
Pretty fun. I
doll,
like that a
a
lot.
tiny replica of Ranni that she likely devised so that she could advance unseen in this place. For her two fingers are close, and their baleful shadows are even closer, prowling, looking for trespassers, looking for her.
Oh, a dogged fellow, aren't we? Or is it merely thy habit to talk to dolls? Fine. Fine.
She talking shit.
I hadn't expected any soul to recognize me in this guise. But now the cat is out the bag. I cannot allow thee thy freedoms. Perform for me a service as recompense. Eliminate the baleful shadows which prowl these lands. The name of Ranni the Witch is already sullied by thee. I will not brook disobedience in this matter.
So Ranni is
Who she
here,
thinks she's talking
trying
to?
to get close to her fingers.
I guess I do serve
so
her, right?
that she can kill them and finally finish what she started long ago. Even without Ranni's body to puppeteer, her two fingers still command great power. Remember, these are the mouthpieces.
No, I don't follow this because she's not bound to the Golden Order because she killed her body. I don't know what the killing the two fingers actually does.
Of the greater will, they conjure great light, and so naturally also have the power to cast living shadows. The baleful shadows are one such example, and the shadows of the Empyrean are another. But even the two fingers are capable of erring in their judgment.
I mean, maybe, okay. So she kills them so they stop sending baleful shadows and things like that. But maybe I don't think that's a big deal because I just killed him real quick, right? Like, not a big deal. I'm a kick-ass fighter, but
Let us speak
I guess
of
it
the
makes some
past
sense.
a while. I was once an Empyrean, of the demigods. Only I, Mikola, and Melania could claim that title. Each of us was chosen by our own two fingers, as a candidate to succeed Queen Marika, to become the new god of the coming age, which is when I received Blythe, in the form of a vassal tailored for an Empyrean. But I would not acquiesce to the two fingers. I stole the rune of death, slew mine own Empyrean flesh, casting it away. I would not be controlled by that thing. The two fingers and I have been cursing each other ever since, and the baleful shadows are their assassins.
Soon you size up against a baleful shadow, which naturally resembles Blythe. It's easy to imagine
Why is that
then
naturally?
why someone might doubt his loyalty.
nah. Oh, okay. All right. So what he just said stopped me saying what I was going to say, but I'll just say it like I didn't really understand why that resembled Blythe at all. I just kind of felt recycled, right? There's all the complaints about recycled assets. I just thought it was like, well, he looks like a wolf, Blythe's a wolf, make him look close enough. But if the fact is that it made her question Blythe's loyalty because the baleful shadow looks exactly like him, that makes sense. It kind of moves the story a little bit.
Even when I turned my back upon the two fingers, Blythe remained my loyal ally. Though he was created a vassal for an Empyrean, he was a colossal failure on the part of the two fingers.
Yeah.
Blythe and E.G. both aren't willing to give too much to me.
There's multiple examples in the game of you sort of creating an entity or someone or making a choice, or the order specifically making something happen in order to move along their will, or the greater will doing a thing, right? But then they have a life of their own, like how, in my opinion, Marika is chosen as the Empyrean, but then is able to sort of do things on her own, kind of go against the greater will.
Yet, they both understand what lieth beyond the dark path, that I must betray everything and rid the world of what came before. Should I add thee to the list? Another one, kind of heart. As kind of heart as they. This form hath loosened my tongue. I've let slip too much. Forget what thou'st heard. Forget.
Perhaps the baleful shadows are what the fingers think Blythe should have been. Red phantoms, without
Okay.
Blythe's great sword of frost,
That's a-
and with blades of destined death.
That's a good explanation.
A tool that only the agents of order.
Oh, I didn't
have any
notice
right
that.
To wield now.
Because he's red, I didn't totally realize that the asset of like the destined death flame was in there. I just thought it was flame. Uh-oh. Just bit your neck out, man. Got him.
O Shadow, thou art the last. Tell the two fingers that Ranni the Witch cometh to
I like
rend
that.
thy flesh with a fateful wound, ne'er to heal.
I love that when she just talking shit. Tell them, Ranni the Witch cometh. That's hard.
Beautifully fought. My thanks. 'Twas more of a challenge than I envisioned. Now I can finally stand before them.
It's no
This
challenge.
is farewell, my dear.
Easy.
Tell Blythe and Eg, I love them.
So it sounds like she's gone at this point. She's like, tell Blythe and EG
This whole
I
time,
love them.
Blythe couldn't be at Ranni's side, fighting on her behalf.
Yeah, why?
So you had to be instead.
So why did that happen?
E.G. led you to believe that Blythe was sent away on more important matters.
And why did he
but
say
what
that?
could be more important than this? So you return to Liurnia and confront him on the matter.
Very well. There is something you should know. The two fingers gave Blythe to Lady Ranni as a faithful follower. Her very shadow, incapable of treachery. But if Lady Ranni, as an Empyrean, resists being an instrument of the two fingers, the shadow will go mad,
Oh,
transforming from a follower into a horrid curse.
so Blythe
Such is his destiny.
is a curse.
In such matters, Blythe's own thoughts hold no weight. It pains me so.
So he's going
But he
crazy.
must be neutralized
He's literally going
for
crazy.
Lady Ranni's sake.
That
so
sucks,
E.G.
man.
had Blythe locked.
What a kind of a terrible destiny. I wonder if that really matters though, because is Blythe is not even like a real being, right? Is he not just like created like as an entity and not really like there's no spirit in Blythe, right?
Away in an Everjail in Limgrave. Incidentally, it's the exact same cell that a supposedly traitorous bloodhound
Yeah.
once occupied. And now the half-wolf is here, imprisoned not for any treachery, but to prevent it.
Oh, it's you. It's me, Blythe. Old E.G. trapped me here. Told me I'd bring naught but bale to Lady Ranni. But there's no chance that could happen. I'm part of her being. A very shadow. I thought old E.G. knew as much. Honestly,
Was EG wrong?
I don't know what's going on anymore.
Was EG wrong? Maybe that's not the case. Maybe he was betrayed by E EG.
My thanks.
I like that
friend.
howl though.
I'm going to see Mistress Ranni now. I don't know what came over old E.G., but even if the odds are slim, I need to check the mistress is safe. Now, Ranni can finally set in motion
So we're
the fight
making
against her fate she's dreamt of for so long.
we've made a decision at this point. We're going to either let Blythe go and we don't know what's going to happen and not trust EG, or we could have left him there and trusted EG.
As you can see, Blythe is still in control, even as the two fingers are nearing their death at the hands of Ranni. Yet Blythe remains this.
Oh, I see.
living-
I see. Because they thought they got to imprison him before she kills the two fingers because then he will go crazy, but he didn't.
in contradiction forced to be loyal to two parties who are at complete odds with one another.
He has a choice.
E.G. believes that this should drive him mad, especially this close to the end, at the final stage of Ranni's ultimate betrayal, but it hasn't.
What does it
According
mean?
to Carian tradition, the Princess of Caria is supposed to give a ring and sword to her chosen consort.
Oh, right.
But Ranni locked away her ring of betrothal in the Grand Library and engraved it with a warning instead, telling you
One
not
ring
to take
to
the ring
rule
from this
them
place,
all.
warning that the solitude beyond the night is better left for her alone. But you ignore her and follow doggedly.
You just do whatever you want, right? Doggedly, that's right.
I thought I might expound a little further upon the order I envision. Mine will be an order not of gold, but the stars and moon of the chill night. I would keep them far from the earth beneath our feet.
You know, I like this ending just mostly because of like all that's involved to get there and how cool it looks and things like that, but I don't really love that she's just stopping one order and creating another order. Like, what's the difference between her leaving the Golden Order and starting the Moon Order or whatever? You know, you're just making a different one. Everyone's still controlled by somebody.
As it is now, life and souls and order are bound tightly together. But I would have them at a great remove, and have the certainties of sight, emotion, faith, and touch all become impossibilities.
Wow.
Which is
cool
why
cut.
I would abandon this soil with mine order. Wouldst thou come to me even now?
Yes, ma'am. Thou wouldst.
Essentially, Ranni's order would be one
That was
is
Blythe's
largely
cousin.
removed from the world.
Right there, Hallie.
The goddess that spearheads it would be unreachable. She would not
at
accept
her.
the love of the masses,
Cool
their
puppet.
worship, their offerings, none of it. This differs greatly from Marika's Golden Order, which demanded veneration. It wiped out other ideologies, it grafted those it couldn't wipe out onto itself,
Okay.
and gave the world absolute evils to contend with, all with Marika as its figurehead. So to bring about such drastic change, it's no surprise that Ranni has to go to extreme lengths. To become her lord, you have to find your own way to the Moonlight Plateau, past a malformed star, ring of betrothal in hand, to a place defended by Ranni's oath-sworn dragon,
So romantic.
the Cathedral of Manus Celis. The word Celis means heavenly, but the word Manus means of the hand. So you learn that it's here that Ranni's own heavenly
Wow, I
hand
didn't know that.
had settled. Two fingers that brazenly lurk underneath the cathedral named after them.
Look at that broken
Two fingers
finger.
that know there is no weapon that could
Gross.
kill them, except for the Fingerslayer blade, the legacy of the eternal city of Nokron, which was finally put to use.
I wonder
by
how
Ranni
strong
himself.
she is. Like, if you think about this from like a realistic standpoint, the strength it would take to put a knife into that thing and cut through is why, unless it's like there's some magic here, or something like that would be ridiculous. So clearly she's like got some power, right? And she's kind of like small, probably quick, 4 arms. I feel like she'd be kind of like those puppets that fall from the balloons. We saw one earlier in this episode where they like are always slicing at you. Like if she were a boss fight, I feel like that'd be like a fast, tough one. You gotta like be thinking quick. You didn't need to do this. Why'd you do that? Why'd you guys do it? What if she just goes, you know I'm a puppet, right? So romantic. You know, I got engaged to my wife in front of a giant dying hand, bleeding all over the place.
So it was thee who would become my lord. Perhaps I needn't have warned thee. I am pleased,
It was
however.
thee, ya boy.
Thou art a fitting choice.
Tarnished.
I go now to the night sky. It is there I shall find mine order. I bid thee travel the path of the Lord, and once all is done, we shall see each other once more.
Once more. Not for eternity.
Ranni's
Just
sigil
one more
is
time.
a full moon, cold and leaden. And this sword is a beam of its very light, gifted by a carrion queen upon her spouse to honor long-standing tradition.
The Moonlight Greatsword.
So it was you that would become Ranni's lord, not Blythe, who was forced to wait while you fulfilled the role.
Blythe
of
was never
shadow
going to be a lord.
and consort.
He's a pet.
With the two fingers dead, something has indeed broken in Blythe, but somehow he still remains loyal to Ranni. The law states that Blythe would have defied destiny itself if it would have had him turn upon his lady.
Wait, what is this? Why is this guy here? Was he sent to assassinate Blythe, but Blythe defended himself or her? Like, where did they come from?
But Ranni was always destined for the dark path. Since there falls no shadow where there shines no sun, Ranni leaves her shadow behind.
Yeah, what happened here?
No. I'm part of her very being. I could never betray her, no matter what might happen.
So does this show that E.G. was right? And that he did actually go crazy? And I should not have let him out? What am I looking at? Why is there not first-person Elden Ring? That is so cool looking. I love this. Oh shit. Whack.
Stop. Please. Ranni. She needs me.
Cool. I like how he tries to kill you. And then as he's failing, he's like, please don't kill me. Not for himself, but for Ranni. He's like, no, Ranni needs me. Don't kill me. I need to protect her. Interesting.
You walked the same path as Blythe for so long, but in the end, only you can go on.
There can be only one. What do you got to say,
look after Blythe for
E.G.?
you. The man is honest to a fault. But fortunately, now he has you.
Before Blythe's death, he was attacked by a group of black knives. It's impossible to know who sent them or why they acted.
That's why I wanted to know.
But if they've gone after Blythe,
I think Ranni sent them.
then it follows that their next target would be E.G.
Unthinkable. How could Blythe? How did he break free from his cell? No. More importantly, Blythe became a curse that plagued Lady Ranni. Yet even in madness, gave himself to her. I've made a grave misjudgment.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought myself a capable war counselor.
I think he
I'll
is.
catch up with you soon enough, Blythe.
He was barely wrong.
When I do, I only hope you'll accept my apology.
He was right that he went crazy, wrong that he couldn't hold it together, in a way. I mean, he pretty much lost it.
Go as you must, Lady Ranni, along the paths of darkness.
I don't remember E.G. dying.
Inevitably, E.G. dies fighting as well,
I don't remember
destined
that.
to catch up with Blythe in death.
I must have never
As
come
you
back to see
escape
him.
the consequences
Wow.
and continue along the path to Elden.
The
Lord.
Black Knives, so the Black Knives were sent and they killed EG out there also? And if that's the case, who sent them? Was it also Ranni? She's just like trying to get everybody away. She was like, don't come marry me. Leave my ring there. I'll do it by myself. She kills Blythe. She kills EG. Maybe none of that's true, but I that's what I'm thinking, right? Because if that's the case, she's just trying to ride solo. She's like, look, I got shit to do, you know? But she accepted us because we put in the work and came out there. And, you know, she's just a puppet. We made it happen, but I don't know. So we go forth, we follow the path of the Lord,
The ring
as
is
she
set
said.
aside completely, to be eclipsed by the moon, as it was long ago, back when fate was still in the night sky, in the age before the Erd Tree, before the Elden Ring commanded the stars.
Is she wearing
The battle
Blythe's?
is over, I see.
No, did she wore that before, right? Yeah, she must have. I was thinking she was wearing Blythe's cape right there, but I don't think so.
I do solemnly swear to every living being and every living soul. Now cometh the age of the stars. 1,000-year voyage under the wisdom of the moon. Here beginneth the chill night that encompasses all, reaching the great beyond. Into fear, doubt, and loneliness, as the path stretcheth into darkness.
So, Ranni's order will still exist, but it will never again be seen, believed in, or touched by the living. To bring this about, a sacrifice is absolute. She has to leave and never return. But at least she'll still have you.
Well then, shall we?
Just go off into space with her.
My fair consort eternal.
Which hand do you grab, dude? It's a trick. One of them comes off, and she goes, ha ha. All right, that was the last one. That was it. That was all of Ati's Elden Ring videos, so I guess I'm done with those. I have some ideas for some other ones. I've gotten a lot of good recommendations in the comments for some other creators out there that have done some not more interesting, but some other interesting videos that have intrigued me. So I think I might check a couple of those out. But I'm not trying to be doing Elden Ring reaction videos for the rest of my life. So I really enjoyed this journey. If you've watched them with me, I really appreciate you joining me. And so again, do a couple more, and we'll see what's next next week. So all right, bye guys.